Sammy, this is Daddy. How are you? I thought I'd send this video to your mother for her to show you, just to sort of trigger your memory a little bit as to who I am, because when you left that message the other day you sounded a little shy, and the Sammy I remember was definitely not shy, at least with me. I just remember all the fun we had, and how much you made me laugh, and you made everybody laugh so much. And here's just some ways that maybe you'll remember, and you'll be able to say, oh, that guy's my daddy, I remember him. And so that when we talk finally on the phone, we can just pick up where we left off. I know it was a long time ago. I think you were like 3.5 when I left America. And I couldn't explain to you why I was leaving then, and I can't explain now, but I always wanted you to know that I love you very much. I miss you so much. I mean, I've got thousands of photos of you and hundreds of videos, some of which are on my Facebook page, just to show that how much fun we had. And laughing all the time. And one of the main things that we used to play with was Percy, and I think you've grown out of Percy now, and you're now into Star Wars and Yoda, which is great. Star Wars is great. Yeah. When we talk, we can talk all about everything you know about Star Wars, which is probably a lot more than me. And we used to just play with your Thomas the Tank Engine all the time, for hours on end. I've just realised that I don't know how much you might be able to hear the traffic going by, but I live in a big city now, and maybe I'll turn the camera around in a bit and you can see there's the River Thames, which has got all the boats in London going by. It's a beautiful place, but it's a bit noisy, and so that's what all the noise is, plus your aeroplanes go over, and birds and ducks and all sorts of different things. But anyway, Sammy, I made a list of notes just to remind myself, or to hopefully remind you of who I am, so that when we talk, we can just talk as though it was just yesterday. And and just one of the funniest things, and people kind of give me a hard time about it, is that I use a lot of the expressions I learned from you in my everyday language. One of them is where we used to play Thomas the Tank Engine, and we used to build the track, and then the track broke. But then the motorized train, the motorized Sammy train, or whatever, the one you built, would be close to a crash, and you go, oh no, and now I just walk around going, whenever I see something with trouble ahead, I go, oh no. And the other expression that I learned from you is when anybody asks me if I want lunch, or if what I'd like to have for lunch, I always just look at them with a really innocent face, just like you used to, and I say, ice cream? Ice cream? Can I have ice cream? And coming from you, it was just priceless. And I miss those days. But it sounds as though you're doing very well, Sammy. You're playing all sorts of sports, and kung fu's great. I don't know if you're keeping that up, but that's great for learning, internal strength. And baseball, that was one thing that you and I played all the time. And again, you were too young to realize it at the time, but every time I pitched the ball to you, and you would just swing it and hit it, and you would hit it over the fence, and I used to have to tell the neighbors ahead of time when you were coming, so that they could know when to sit in their garden, because all these balls would come flying over. And it was just just always saying, "Oh wow!" And that was my warning to the neighbours. "Oh wow! Look, here comes another ball." You were very good at baseball, Sam. And I don't know if you still like the Oakland A's. I'm sure you do because you seemed to love them when I was there. I don't know if you're into soccer yet, in a big way. You were pretty good at soccer, and again, your big screen then was Sammy shoots and Sammy scores. And you scored a lot of goals against Daddy, that was for sure. But your daddy loves soccer. And my team in this country is called Chelsea, and it has been since I was your age, since probably I was 4 years old. And the thing is, I think they show a lot of Chelsea games in America now, and I think they show a lot of English games, which is the country where I'm from and where I live. And my plan is to come back to my adopted home, the United States, and back to California and back to San Jose very soon, but I can't really promise when that's going to happen. You know, I just remember being in that area and walking Daisy for hours, and I used to actually walk Daisy with you. You're too young at the time to remember that, but those were the days. And Daisy, you know, before you showed up, Daisy was always running around like a mad person. But then when we were walking together, the three of us, Daisy was always very calm. And I said, "God, yeah, Sammy's a great influence on Daisy." And you know, Daisy was and is a precious memory, as I'm sure she is to you too. Don't know if you've got another dog. Maybe that's something we can talk about. But I would like to hear all about your life, Sammy. What you're doing, what school's like, you know, and just sort of understand, you know, what things you like and don't like. And because of all this modern technology, telephones, computers, internet, all the things you're learning about, we have the ability to stay in touch very easily now. And no matter where I am, wherever I am, I can be your father, you know, and I know that some people might sort of say, well, I should be there with you, and I agree, I should be. But at the moment I can't be. Do you remember the Blue Angels, Sammy? Oh, you know, if you've never spoken to your mother about the Blue Angels, you should ask her to show you some videos of the Blue Angels. Because I always said to you, I think Sammy's gonna be a pilot in the Blue Angels one day, or maybe an astronaut, something like that. So anyway, Sammy, this is just hopefully, you know, been able to sort of remind you of who I am, and you know, I used to drive my sports car, and we used to go on those bike rides, and all those things that you know we just laughed all the time about, you know, crashing toy cars, and used to throw bouncy balls down my stairs, and you know, some of them used to make a lot of noise at the bottom of those stairs, and you used to look at me and go, "Oops," and I'd say, "Yes." So I was scared to see what that hit down there, but it didn't sound good. It didn't sound good at all. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon. What we're gonna do is have this conversation, but we're gonna be talking back and forth to each other. And I just want you to ask whatever question you want to ask, and tell me anything you want to tell me about anything. I would like to know how school's going, and what sports you're playing, and the things you like and the things you don't like. And we can talk for as long as you want, whenever you want. I mean, you've got to, you know, just understand that you know, my time is different to your time. At the moment, it is night time here, and where you are, it's morning time. Maybe breakfast time. I gotta look at the clock. No, a bit later than that. I bet. So we're on slightly different times. When you're sleeping, I'm not sleeping, and the other way around too, because I'm a long, long way away. If you got on an aeroplane, a big jet aeroplane flying very fast, the fastest it can fly, it would take 12 hours. 12 hours to get here. 12 hours. So, maybe one day you'll be able to see this, and maybe what I'm going to do is the last thing I'm going to show you, turn this around and make sure I don't break anything. And I don't know if you'll see that behind me. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. That's the River Thames in London. With lots of traffic on that road down there. Here. The sun's going down, which is why it's a bit bright too. But oh, crikey. Here we go. And so I want to know what all sorts of movies you've seen. Shaking. Why are you shaking? Okay. I'd like to know all the movies you go to see, because Daddy loves movies too. I might not see the same ones as you, but I certainly hear about them. Because all the ones you see, they're in the cinemas here too. And because Daddy loves movies, it's one of my favourite things to do. And TV shows. I fell in love with the United States of America when I was a kid by watching all the American TV shows. And I said, I want to go live there one day. And now I live here, which is where my mummy and daddy live, and they say hello. They're getting very old. And you met my daddy once, but you were so small. And you met my mummy a few times, and she's actually in some of the videos that we have, and she just is laughing through them all the time too. And my sister is here, and my brother is here, and I guess you met them once too. Oh no, maybe not my brother. No, I don't think so. So, but you were there, Sammy. You were there, and you were an American. You're not English like your daddy. You're half English, but you're an American in heart and spirit, and so that is where my heart is. My heart is where you are, and hopefully one day we will be able to play together again, and you can score goals against me like you always did, and hit my pitches so far that it would take me 10 minutes to go pick up one ball. And I'm sure, I guarantee you, Sammy, that you could floor me in a second at Kung Fu, because I don't know how to do that kind of thing, and hopefully you'll end up being cleverer than me and cleverer than your mummy, and just remember to stay happy and stay laughing, laugh and laugh and laugh, and I hope you still laugh at everything, because you certainly laughed at everything before. People were amazed that every time we were at Starbucks together, they used to say, "What a cute kid." You are a cute kid, Sammy. You're very clever, you're good looking, and you have the whole world in front of you. And I'm your daddy. Always have been, always will be. So anyway, hopefully after you see this, ask your mommy if you wanna watch it again, but then, next time when we talk, we can just chit chat about whatever you want. So there you go. I hope this has been useful for you to remember me and say, I remember that guy and we had a lot of fun together. So I'll speak to you soon, Sammy. Say hello to everybody there for me and be good. Okay, bye.